Okay, so welcome back, everybody. Put your phones away. I know the phones are much more exciting than Mr. Skeen, but a couple things that we need to be talking about. First off, if you have gone so far as to navigate to Canvas, if you've gone so far as to navigate to Canvas, let's go. If you go to your dashboard, something different should be showing up there for all of you. Do any of you see a class that is listed as 909999B2 logistics? Yes? Okay. As opposed to maybe some of your other classes that you are a part of, there is actually a specific course that you are now in, as opposed to just the same old course that you have been dealing with. So when you want to be taking a look at assignments, okay, or grades, you would go into logistics 2, okay? Logistics or 2 logistics, I'll rename it so it makes a little more sense, but you should be getting to 909-99999B2 logistics scheme. I think that is the technical course code for the district, so that's why it's all funky. So when we do have things that you need to be completing, you need to make sure that you go to that, okay? You will notice, all of you, that if you were to go into it, there would be an assignment that is due tomorrow. Again, it is a video interview with a gentleman from Verse Logistics. I'd like you to watch that for tomorrow's class, and we'll touch on some of the things that we saw there, speaking to Tanner, okay? So definitely want to make sure you guys do that for tomorrow, but the only way you're going to be able to access that is going into that Logistics 2 class with the Ignite Institute logo on it, okay? So, easy video to knock out, but I do need you to watch that. Again, it's just kind of an interesting insight from that young man on what it is that he does in his position as an operations supervisor. Some of the things he's done before in his career, some of the things that he has done to get where he is at. He talks a little bit about the place that he works, some of the people that he works with. So it's kind of an interesting video to watch. It is one that is, like I said, fairly short, and he's a younger guy. He's got a little bit of a Eastern Kentucky twang. He is from Ashland, Kentucky. Let's see. He went to Morehead State. And he's got. I didn't ask him about the twang, but when I heard Ashland, Kentucky, even not knowing geography of Kentucky too well, I know that's in the eastern part at least. Okay. So, yeah, if you guys could definitely watch that, that would be appreciated. Let's see. I should definitely make sure that everybody is aware of this, okay? On Wednesdays, we are going to be actually having class, okay? Having class virtually, but still nonetheless having class, okay? So you want to make sure that you tune in at 8 o'clock, all righty? So it is, yeah, Okay, there's no teacher work days, there's no nothing like that. Boone is having virtual education via Microsoft Teams. So you guys will not get the opportunity to skip a beat with Mr. Skeen. You will get your opportunity to hang out with me on Wednesdays. I know that drives people like Shaylee crazy that she has to spend yet another day with me. Akerson is right there. Hamrick, I'm sure, is really excited about being able to join me on Wednesday as well. Jabari goes without saying, he's excited. House and Frotz, yes, definitely excited. Okay. Let's see, Miss Scott, when are you blasting off? Is it at 9 o'clock? Do you? Not today? Okay, but you're not doing it today? Okay, I thought it was today. Okay, so one of the things that we introduced yesterday, we were talking about the subject of, well, let's just say, as I started off yesterday, regardless of the age of the group of individuals, regardless of the gender of the individuals, it is oftentimes a subject that will cause individuals to snicker. It will cause individuals to chuckle, laugh, other people to roll their eyes. But it is oftentimes something, especially for larger companies, to be specifically addressing what we are going to be talking about today in terms of sexual harassment. Every single employer, if they are a good employer, follows the federal and state guidelines that they must train their new hire employees about something known as sexual harassment. Okay, it is something that it's something that I hope you don't encounter. Okay, in the workplace, every single one of you will be in the workplace. Every single one of you will be doing internships next year. But it is something that you do need to know about. Okay, if for some reason something occurs to you, you need to be able to know how to handle it. But many people, even after their mandatory training with their new employers, have really no clue what it's all about, what is acceptable behavior in the workplace, what is not acceptable behavior in the workplace. Sexual harassment is viewed as a form of discrimination, okay? And as a result of that, it is covered under one of many federal laws, the most important being a Civil Rights Act of 1964 that spelled out a number of things that employers, among others, must follow here in the United States. Okay, there's all sorts of laws, federal, state, sometimes even local laws covering things like sexual harassment, but it's something that you need to know about and make sure that you know about, because if you do not, you might be doing something that could get you in trouble. And oftentimes employers, because they don't want to deal with individuals that cause problems like sexual harassment, what do you think they do to those types of individuals? There you go, Akerson, the chuck 'em. Okay, and they don't really even do that much in the way of investigation. If they find out that individuals have been doing that, they just fire you. Okay, doesn't matter if you are a lowly hourly employee. Oftentimes supervisors, managers, even individuals higher up get canned just like that. Okay, it's a big deal for employers to make sure that they do not run afoul of these laws that are on the books, because what happens is, obviously, the state and local and federal government will fine the employers, but it also gives a green light to the employees that are being sexually harassed to sue the employer and to sue the coworkers and to sue the management team that they might be working for, because sexual harassment, it is a form of discrimination. Okay, so we talked a little bit about sexual harassment yesterday. Some of the things that are most important to remember is that, I mean, basically it is any type of, I guess, unwelcome advances, requests for inappropriate favors, things like physical harassment, verbal harassment of a sexual type of nature, not only in a workplace, but also in places covered such as educational institutions as well, okay? It is definitely something that touches all of us, and as a result of it, you need to be aware of it, or else you will be in trouble someday. We don't need individuals getting canned once they land the job in the workplace that they have tried oh so hard to get in the first place, okay? We talked about different ways that sexual harassment might appear in a workplace. Obviously, there's physical types of things. I mean, everybody will. Well, actually, let's just throw this one thing out. Yesterday, Jabari, he mentioned, he actually mentioned, I forget. I don't know if you flat out said that it was. I forget if you actually flat out said that it was physical harm being done to someone that included, well, I'll just say rape, okay? That is not sexual harassment, okay? That is sexual assault, okay? We definitely don't want any of you doing that, and I think it's pretty clear what that is. However, sexual harassment is just as serious, okay? A couple of other things. I mean, individuals having discussions in the workplace that are inappropriate, that other individuals may have to hear, okay, and they are unwelcome listeners to it. I mean, individuals may be talking amongst themselves, and they probably, actually, why don't you guys shut the lids? We're not doing anything on the computer at the moment, so shut them down. Shut them down. Okay, Jennifer, shut them on down. Okay, so yes, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that sexual harassment does show up. Sexual advances, having discussions, oftentimes feeling pressure from individuals to engage in some sort of sexual activity. But regardless, there's a whole variety of ways that it can be done. Okay, they are pretty much put into two different main types of sexual harassment, okay? One is known as a hostile work environment, okay? Sexual or a hostile work environment is one pretty much that oftentimes involves the individual that is being harassed to feel that they cannot perform their job. An individual cannot go into the workplace without being bothered because of this, okay? Hostile work environment is oftentimes the most common type. I mean, you've got individuals that may be commenting to individuals to their face. They might be commenting in groups about other individuals. There's all sorts of ways that it can happen. But if an individual feels that they cannot perform their job because of all of this harassment of a sexual nature that's going on, it is known as a hostile work environment. The vast majority of sexual harassment things are regarding that. The next one, however, is that Latin one that I threw out there yesterday. And that is something known as quid pro quo. Okay, quid pro quo sexual harassment, the second type, is one that occurs when there is someone who is in a position of power, is exerting sexual pressure on an individual that is a subordinate, Okay, and it's oftentimes a boss, a supervisor, a manager, a vice president. It is someone who is higher up, forcing or at least proposing to force an individual that is under their supervision to not only do things, but to do things in exchange. Quid pro quo means this for that. This for that. Okay? So basically, the person that is in a position of power is saying, if you do this for me, I will do this for you. And oftentimes that can be everything from promotions, everything from positive performance evaluations, a new job, help with some, I mean, basically giving something that is within their control to them in exchange for some sort of sexual favors. Quid pro quo. Okay, this for that. So, what we've got today are a couple of very short videos that kind of show some of these types of things that are going on in the workplace. Okay, before we actually get to those, I just want to be able to tell every one of you that this is the type of thing that it does not have to be male or male on female, okay? It does not have to, I mean, it can take all sorts of different forms, okay? As we've talked about previously, individuals in the workplace are coming in all different varieties, okay? There are all sorts of different ways that people identify. There are instances where females sexually harass other females. There are instances where females sexually harass males. Any sort of a combination is possible in this day and age. Okay, so do not feel that if you have a female supervisor that, oh, this will never happen. It's something that I hate to say, I have seen a whole variety of things in my life, and it takes on a number of forms. But the most important thing that you, as future employees in a workplace, will do is to make sure that if this sort of behavior is going on and you do not like it, okay, first of all, it is your responsibility to try to stop it and make sure that you have said stop, okay? But following that stop, if it does not, then it is up to you to make sure somebody else knows. Now, if it's a case where a supervisor that you work for is doing it, then you'd probably have to go to someone higher up on the food chain. Okay, if it is a fellow coworker that is doing something to you, then you would need to express it to that individual and then talk to the supervisor about it. Okay, but it's very important, that step right there. You have to say something to get the process moving, because once the process does start to move forward and you have alerted somebody from that company, it is their obligation under federal and state laws that they then correct it. Okay? Once you put it in their lap, they are bound by the law to try and fix it. So, what does that mean as somebody who might be a supervisor someday? I mean, I keep telling you guys that you guys are going to be the members of management of the future. You may think right now, oh, there's no way that I'm ever going to be supervising 10, 15 people, 20 people, 50 people, whatever the case. You guys are going to be the next group of management. Okay? Price, head up, please. Okay? So, you need to be aware of things. And I hope that your companies that you work for will make this extremely clear to you. However, there are a number of companies that do not place great emphasis on it. And as I've said just previously, if you are a part of this or you are engaging in this, you're going to get fired. Yes, Hassan Fratz?
Question.
Yes.
So what's more common in logistics, like a desk job or actually working in the warehouse?
I mean, Of the individuals that are they're going to be going on internships this semester, they are all but one of them is something that is out on the floor. The rest of them are actually going to be working at a desk. Okay. There are a wide variety of careers in logistics, but my background has always been one that I have either physically been on the floor or I have been responsible for people that are out on the floor, okay, working in big concrete structures like this with all sorts of storage racks and locations. But we've got a couple people that are going to be doing nothing but sitting at desks, being in contact with individuals. We've got one young man who is going to be, it sounds like he is going to be researching various types of forms of transportation and various things as they are moving, not only in the United States, but it sounds like he is going to get exposed a great deal to tracking freight as it is first loaded onto airplanes in Asia. Okay, once it gets loaded onto a plane in Asia, that young man is going to have to start working with individuals in arranging transportation once it makes it to the United States. Okay, I'm not a desk job type of person. I love being physically out on the floor, being able to walk around. That's oftentimes when I was in charge of lots of individuals and I was sitting in a desk, I would oftentimes bring a laptop along and just be working in various places of the building just so I could be out on the floor and understand what's going on in this building. But so, I mean, yeah, there's all sorts of varieties, Haas and Frotz. I mean, if you want to work at a desk nonstop in logistics, you can do that. If you want to work on the floor and be moving around all the time, you can do that. I mean, there's such a wide variety of things, okay? Let's see. So let's get to some, actually, let me just ask you this, okay? I'm going to say a situation and you need to tell me, at least from what you know, whether you think it is sexual harassment or not. Okay? How about this one? Is this sexual harassment? Making negative comments about an employee's personal religious beliefs. Sexual harassment? Hamrick says no. Hamrick is correct. Okay? How about this one? Sending suggestive letters, notes, or emails. That would be. Okay, and again, you have that technology component. I'm going to say this to everybody that is in here. For those of you that were not on the call yesterday, technology is amazing. It is amazing. I love technology. I can't get enough of it. But if you go into a place of work and you use a company-owned computer or laptop, if your company is paying for your cellular device, guess what? You better not have anything on there that's going to get you in trouble, okay? If, for some reason, you are logging on using the place of work's Wi-Fi network, guess what? The Wi-Fi network has a way to be able to not only see what you are browsing, but oftentimes what is physically on your, or I guess not physically, but what is on your phone, okay, or on your device by simply accessing the Wi-Fi network, okay? Don't think that if somebody isn't flashing pictures in front of somebody's face, if you've got it on your laptop, if you've got it on your computer hard drive, if you've got it on your telephone, tablet, whatever, it's a problem. Once you link up to that Wi-Fi network, there is all sorts of problems that you are possibly going to be getting into, okay? How about this one? Is this sexually harassing an individual if you are wearing clothing that could be offensive to a particular ethnic group? No, okay, again, deals with diversity, okay, we're all different. You definitely don't want to do that, but no, that is not sexual harassment. How about this? Making inappropriate gestures of a sexual nature. Okay, yes. I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of a no-brainer once I throw in the S word there. But how about this one? Inappropriate touching. Inappropriate touching. Yes. Okay. I know that. I mean, I've had lots of people that work for me. I see lots of people all the time. I mean, someone will walk up to another person and they'll put their hand on their shoulder, they'll put their arm around them, and that's perfectly fine. If there is some sort of a relationship, of friendship, of some sort of dating, as long as it is okay with that individual, okay? It's my personal advice to all of you that I just would not be a touchy type of individual in the workplace, okay? Especially if you are a member of management, don't do it. But I mean, um, individuals oftentimes have feelings. I mean, I'm sure that Logan could walk up to a person that he is quite fine with, and he could bump them, and they would be totally fine with it. If I did that to someone and we had no sort of relationship, it was just out of the blue, and I bumped into him, and it might be taken an entirely different way. Even though the gesture was exactly the same, a different person does it, then all of a sudden it's a problem. Okay, but again, it's first of all the problem of the individual to make sure that they get it on the record at least once they have told that person it's a problem. Okay, let's see. How about this one? Using racist slang, phrases, or nicknames. Sexual harassment? No, not so much. Okay, again, inappropriate just the same, but sexual harassment, no. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of things that might perhaps. Oh, actually, I'll mention just one more thing here. Well, no, let's just go to the videos. Why not? Okay, I am going to cue these things up. Let's see. For you on the other end, Brandon, I am going to paste these links to you. They are very short. I am going to just paste them to you into the chat. And the audio is going to be crap, I'm afraid, but if it does work, great. If it does not, please try to watch these at the best time that you can. Okay. Oops, there we go.
All right.
I think I pasted them in there twice. Yes. Yeah. Hurry back though. Again, short, sweet, but important just the same. Okay, this is always the thing that gets me. We'll see if I can get the audio to spit out, and it was previously. I will tell you that this is just the very end of a get together, a birthday celebration for someone. This guy right here, he is walking off. He's not terribly happy. He has just received a gift from his coworkers that he does not terribly like. And unfortunately, it is an inappropriate type of gift. He's not very happy about it. And these two women right here are individuals that have not only done that this time, but unfortunately previously as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. It just kind of abruptly, I've kind of spliced it so it doesn't, we kind of avoid the, yeah, anyway. We're going to just pick it up. It'll just kind of pick up in the middle of nowhere, but that's the background that I just told you about, okay? Okay, so that's it for that video. But I mean, is that a situation where it is that quid pro quo, this or that, or is that a hostile work environment type of sexual harassment right there? Hostile work environment. Okay, I mean, there's definitely a background that, I mean, there's a history with this guy and his coworkers. I mean, it's all like that, like the corporate guy or the guy that was talking afterwards. I mean, pretty much it's all fun and games until you've crossed that line. Okay, just realize everybody's line is different, and to be tap dancing around that line is probably not a good thing to be doing in the workplace. Maybe it's totally different outside of work, among friends that you know quite well, that you can tap dance on that line, but in work, be aware. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Okay, so what we have here, okay, you got, it's entitled Workplace Compliments. Workplace compliments sounds like an easy, hey, you sure are looking spiffy today. Okay, I guess that's fine. It might make me sound kind of like an idiot if I say you look really spiffy. But if you are making compliments, again, know what is an appropriate comment, know what is not. Okay, so I hate to say it, there's always someone in every workplace that people sometimes refer to as that creepy guy. Okay, just as the case is with anything that I've just said, yes, it doesn't necessarily need to be that creepy guy. It could be that creepy woman. Okay, he's shaking the hand. I mean, you sometimes see individuals shake the hand. Sometimes you have people that go in for like the two-handed shake. They shake it and then they grab their hand. This man like grabbing their forearms. Okay, it's a nice word. Okay, and again, yeah, complimenting, that's great. But again, you start to talk about how pretty someone is. You talk about George, where have you been hiding this person? Oh, you scoundrel. Okay, I'll tell you the creepy factor that that woman is feeling on her first day of work there is not exactly how you would want your employees to do. Okay, and I mean, how is this woman going to feel if that is how, I mean, she feels creeped out, and then all of a sudden her boss, the guy that brought her in the door right there, she says, oh my gosh, or she's thinking this to herself that, oh my gosh, this is how this guy is, and my boss has said nothing. I'm going to have to put up with this guy all the time. This is how my relationship with this guy is going to be. What if she has to work with this guy all the time? Okay, be aware, be aware. Okay, let's see, let's move on to the next. Okay, who decides what is unwelcome behavior? Okay, again, as I said, oftentimes what is and what is not appropriate behavior is defined by the individual that is receiving that behavior. Okay, as I was describing, what might be okay for one person might be totally unacceptable for another person. Okay, it is not required that in terms of this type of situation that everybody is treated exactly the same. If she allows one coworker to put his arm around her, she does not need to allow every single one to do that. Okay? It might seem somewhat unfair, but again, that line is strictly in the mind of the person that is receiving that treatment, okay? Or that action or that activity, okay? Let's see. Let's talk about this one. Okay, this one is talked about the body department. Sometimes you can talk about the body department. You get a car dealership, they'll take out the dings. I mean, unfortunately, I've got a car that has like a big old dent in it. I can take it to the body shop, we'll pound it out, and it look like new. Okay, you've got some gentlemen that are in the workplace here that are perhaps not so appropriate. Let's take a look. Sorry. Okay, a couple things going on here. Okay. First thing you got a situation where an individual or a group of individuals are making comments about another person. Okay. Again, how they're complimenting is not appropriate. You don't need to be talking about someone and how awesome somebody looks, etc. However, they're doing it within earshot, and from the reaction, it looks like it's something that has gone on. This woman, she's just there doing her work, okay? And lo and behold, she's got to put up with hearing this sort of stuff. Does she want to? No. Okay? She tells them about it. I mean, it's a problem for these guys because this woman is having to listen to stuff that she doesn't want to. You've also got another issue where you've got an outside person coming in. I mean, does this employer know that the vending machine guy is doing this? That's a problem. Okay? I think we'll hit one more and then I'll tell you we can quit. Okay? Let's see. This one is not a hostile work environment. However, this one is a quid pro quo one. Again, what does that necessarily mean when he says we have to get along really well? We need to work really closely together. Okay, is that sexual harassment? Is that quid pro quo? It certainly is laying the foundation for it. If this is maybe just a one-time issue, maybe not. But if this athletic director continues to push this woman, who is a coach, that she really wants this job, and all of a sudden he more explicitly says it, that under certain terms that this working closer is something that means something that is sexual in nature, it is a problem for this guy, okay? In fact, just during the month of December, an athletic director from a very large university in the state of California, okay, UCLA, they ended up terminating their athletic director because of inappropriate conduct. He was forcing individuals from the women's rowing team. Okay, it's something that goes on. It's something that goes on, and everybody needs to just be aware of it. And again, it's not just male on female. Okay, this sort of stuff can happen any way, any shape or form these days. Okay. So, with that being said, I will say no more. 45, right, Mrs. Younger?
Yep.
Okay. So, please make sure that you watch that video. I don't think it's that bad of a video. It's just a young man talking about what he's doing, some of the things that he's seen. I think it's somewhat insightful, at least into a particular career field that he's involved with. So, take an opportunity to do that. Okay? And with that, I say that I am done. Okay? I'm going to go try and scout out potential locations that we have to maybe think about getting back into a rotation type of thing here. So I'll see what's open at this point of the day. Okay? You made it. Thursday skiing. Done.